In our previous video this week, we tried to tell you just how disconnected and fucking stupid most big name brands are. So dumb, in fact, that they rely almost entirely on collected data and surveys to figure out how to market to certain demographics. Pretty much the exact document we showed you during our It's Lit, This Is What Google Thinks Kids Are Into video we posted yesterday. Having said that, brands like Pepsi sometimes they just go completely off the rails in order to make what they assume is a powerful statement regarding current events. It rarely lands, and almost always makes whatever company is attempting it look completely tone deaf.
Case in point, the drama that unfolded yesterday as Pepsi unleashed its latest ad campaign where Kendall Jenner, someone who we're sure might be a nice person, but who would probably struggle to claim that she has ever personally been oppressed in any way, she's just enjoying a fun day of modeling, like she does, when she suddenly notices a multicultural group of protesters marching in the streets and also breakdancing for some reason. She then looks around inquisitively before finally deciding to join in on the fun when she notices an attractive man carrying a cello who mansplains that she should come along with the simple nod of his head. Very effective mansplaining.
But don't worry, everyone. This isn't about joining up for whatever cause they're currently marching for. No. She's here to save the day because the police are standing nearby and it's quite obvious that all of these fun-loving millennials are about to get gunned down unless a Kardashian steps in to save the day. And she does so with an ice-cold can of corn syrup. First of all, this looks more like a fucking drum circle or a day rave than a protest, but we'll suspend our disbelief with the comforting knowledge that Pepsi can bring together police and citizens like nothing else.
It's the solution to all attention.
It's the final solution.
The final solution.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this thing has been mocked relentlessly since its release, with people tweeting memes about Pepsi saving the planet from any number of heroic moments throughout history. One of our favorites was a tweet by Ron Funches, who said, "Y'all laughing, but this is how I'm gonna be driving through LA from now on," with a photo of a van filled with 2 liters of Pepsi, just in case a cop pulls him over and tries to get a little rough. Then there was this tweet from Joseph Kahn, who not only created that R-rated Power Rangers short film a few years ago, but has also apparently been analyzing commercials for decades. He said, "I've been studying commercials for 30 years. Kendall's Pepsi ad is legitimately the worst one I've ever seen."
Now, we already know that you already know that this commercial is completely tone deaf and culturally insensitive to, I think, everyone. It's attempting to market its product by aligning itself with the hip, new, young activist market, while at the same time showing that you can find middle ground with those who oppress you because, hey, we all love soda. Or you're an internet shit machine badass who thinks people are getting upset over this for no reason and support Pepsi for pissing people off. Yet you find yourself in the odd predicament of supporting an ad that shows people of all cultures and backgrounds coming together to have a little jam session while also patting a brand on the back for marketing. Either way, Pepsi decided to pull the ad just one day after unleashing it upon the unsuspecting public, so cool, that's done.
All those millions of dollars just, well, you can't buy press like this.
That's true.
But anyway, how could one not see this coming? I know it's hard to hear us way up here on our high horses, the biggest horses, but Pepsi has been terrible at marketing their products for years. So this actually aligns up perfectly with their track record of not thinking things through and executing ad campaigns with the precision of a drunk man shooting a bow and arrow with his feet. Just about 2 years ago, Pepsi found themselves in hot water with an ad that ran in India, which seemed to mock a student protest that actually happened at the Film and Television Institute of India. In the Pepsi ad, there's a massive amount of student protesters who are informing the world of their hunger strike alongside a news reporter. But one student just spotted a refreshing Pepsi. He can't help himself. His ethics are flying away with every single second.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I mean, I've got my rights, and I've got this bottle of delicious Pepsi. So of course, he cracks that Pepsi open and chugs it while everyone diverts their attention to him because, what the fuck, man, we're on a hunger strike because our university is screwing us over, to which he replies, "It was Pepsi, I drank it." And
Simple
then we
as
all
that.
clapped.
I clapped! Then there was the skinny Pepsi ads a few years before that, where they introduced a skinny Diet Pepsi can, which they called in a press release thin and attractive. And oh God, why don't you just fuck the shit out of this sexy can? We added the last part, but obviously fat people and the National Eating Disorders Association had some serious issues with that kind of marketing. But listen, let's move on.
You've come a long way, baby.
Let's move on.
Why don't you have yourself a skinny Pepsi and a Virginia Slim?
Let's move on to the lighter side of things, because Pepsi had an ad campaign back in the 1990s for something it was calling Pepsi Points. You would earn points for every Pepsi product you bought, and you could turn those points in for prizes, like a t-shirt for 75 points, a bitchin' leather jacket for 1,450 points, some dope soul protectors for 175 points, and of course, an ultimate prize. You could get your own Harrier fighter jet, courtesy of Pepsi, for a measly 7 million Pepsi points. A steal. And you can bet your ass that someone collected all 7 million points needed to obtain that fighter jet.
Well, okay, sort of. He basically used their own rules against them because while there was no indication that the Harrier jet was a joke in the fine print, there was some fine print that said that you could purchase Pepsi points for 10 cents each plus $10 for shipping and handling. So this guy sent the 15 points that he did have and a certified check for just over $700,000 and sat patiently waiting for his dream plane to arrive at his doorstep.
Well, that's that.
I
Time
played
to
by
get
the
my
rules.
plane.
But
It's a good investment.
yeah.
It's
a great investment. $700,000 plus
$10.
Yeah, $10 worth of Pepsi points. This is a jet that costs tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, the guy is a business genius. He is good at making deals.
Yeah. It's a great deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
He's using the rules. He's working his way through those rules.
Yeah.
But guess what? The corporate fat cats up in their big fat cat skyscrapers up in Pepsi Town, they thought that giving a US citizen a fighter jet was probably a bad idea. Even though he'd already laid the foundation for the jet's landing pad in his front yard.
He
in
did do
preparation.
that, yeah. Here, that's where it's gonna go. I remember like he was on like Inside Edition or
Yeah.
something. You're like,
Just waiting for that jet.
the landing pad is right there.
I did all the things they asked. I even I made a landing pad for my Harrier jet. You know, most planes fly like this. This plane flies like this.
We've all seen, what's that fucking movie? True Lies. We've all
You're
seen
fired.
it. I can't wait to fire a terrorist off of my Harrier jet with a rocket.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. So anyway, there's those big corporate cigar chomping, arugula eating fat cats in Pepsi Tower. They didn't take kindly to any of this. They just said, "No, are you fucking crazy? That was a joke, you idiot."
Yeah.
Being that this is America, or at least we all thought it was, and every citizen is not only entitled to a fighter jet, but also at least 50 lawsuits throughout their entire lives, this man took Pepsi to court.
Jun jun. Now this is where things get fun because obviously the guy fucking lost. But
Oh.
the fact that this had to be debated in a court of law is not only ridiculous, but resulted in some of the funniest court transcripts ever. Here's the result and aftermath of John Leonard versus PepsiCo.
It was found that the advertisement featuring the jet did not constitute an offer under the Restatement Second of Contracts. The court found that even if the advertisement had been an offer, no reasonable person could have believed that the company seriously intended to convey a jet worth roughly $23 million for $700,000, i.e., that it was mere puffery.
The value of the alleged contract meant that it fell under the provisions of the Statute of Frauds, but the statute's requirement for written agreement between the parties was not fulfilled, so a contract had not been formed.
And in justifying its conclusion that the commercial was evidently done in jest, and that the notion of traveling to school in a Harrier jet is an exaggerated adolescent fantasy, the court made several observations regarding the nature and content of the commercial. These included, among others, that
the callow youth featured in the commercial is a highly improbable pilot, one who could barely be trusted with the keys to his parents' car, much less the prize aircraft of the United States Marine Corps.
the teenager's comment that flying a Harrier jet to school sure beats the bus evinces an improbably insouciant attitude towards the relative difficulty and danger of piloting a fighter jet in a residential area.
No school would provide a landing space for a student's fighter jet or condone the disruption the jet's use would cause.
The court also stated that in light of the Harrier jet's well-documented function in attacking and destroying surface and air targets, armed reconnaissance and air interdiction, and offensive and defensive anti-aircraft warfare, depiction of such a jet as a way to get to school in the morning is clearly not serious, even if, as plaintiff contends, the jet is capable of being acquired in a form that eliminates potential for military use.
So there you go. Now Pepsi did, however, continue to air that commercial, but they very smartly updated the cost of the Harrier jet to 700 million Pepsi points. And even the White House had to get involved, and they had to make a statement that said that the Harrier jet would not be sold to civilians without demilitarization. There you go. You know what? After all this, I think the 90s actually were way cooler than now.
Yeah.
Everything was just
Yeah.
nice and easy.
I mean, for one thing, only 90s kids remember that commercial.
That's true.
I remember it.
That's the thing. But also, people had so much fucking free time on their hands that they could take companies to court over a joke.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the 2000s or the 1990s that were bad for Pepsi's image. The 80s, they might have been their most evil time as a company.
You could even say that they single-handedly destroyed pop music.
I think you could say that very safely.
Anyway, back before either of us were even born, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was still on top of the world with no signs of slowing down. He was literally the biggest and most talented celebrity on the face of the earth, and we highly doubt that anyone will ever come close to the type of star he was. Show me a movie better than Moonwalker, and I'll show you a lying son of a bitch.
Anyways, he was inarguably the biggest star of all time.
Inarguable.
It's
Without question.
Without question. No one will ever reach the heights that this man hit.
No.
Not even The Rock.
Show me an album better than Thriller.
And you can argue about
Show
that.
me an album better than Off the Wall.
All the comments you want. You can argue all you want in the comments. It's not going to be true.
Back to back, Off the Wall, Thriller. Back to back.
Yeah.
Show me anything that compares. Okay. I'm telling you, he was the
And
king
who
of
can
pop.
forget the Wiz?
Anyway, what are we talking? Oh yeah, Michael Jackson and Pepsi.
Yeah.
So Michael Jackson was so gigantic during the peak of his career that he landed an extremely lucrative endorsement contract with who? Yeah, Pepsi, that's who. And while filming a commercial for the soft drink brand, they set that poor man on fire.
They sure did.
He was aflame.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'm sorry for laughing, but they fucked up
It's
real
actually,
bad.
it's pretty much the
Pretty
turning
tragic.
point of the man's life,
Yeah,
where
it's a tragic
his
event.
mental issues
They kind of
really,
came tenfold and then just compounded.
yeah, he pretty much got addicted to painkillers. It's not funny. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's real bad. Hold on.
But yeah, no. So this technically happened because he had either accidentally danced into the line of fire of some pyrotechnics, or they were set to go off too early. Whatever. Either way, none of this happened at any of Michael Jackson's hundreds of sold-out shows throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It happened under Pepsi's watch.
Yeah.
And either way, they caught his hair on fire and they burned the shit out of his scalp.
They put him in harm's way.
They put Michael Jackson in harm's way.
Yes.
To sell some sugar water.
Yes.
They should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway,
It's not funny. It's not funny.
he was rushed to the emergency room where he was treated for second-degree burns on his scalp, which reportedly gave him intense migraines as a result. You'll see his music output drop off significantly after this Pepsi ad. A lot of people think that part of his later dependence on painkillers might have stemmed from this event. Some people think it might have. I'll tell you, they definitely did.
Allegedly. Also, by the way, Pepsi's logo looks like a big old fat guy after they resigned it a few years
He's
back.
either leaning back like this, or he's got a little butt crack on the outside.
Yeah, they were like, all right, the Pepsi skinny can didn't work.
Yeah.
Let's do the opposite of that. And we just have to say, if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole of what the fuck even is this marketing bullshit and why are people paid to do this, I can't suggest this enough. You have to go find the manifesto. If we can find another copy, we'll leave it in the link below. You have to read that manifesto behind this recent logo because it is batshit insane. Some people online, they think it's just an internet hoax, but someone, even if it wasn't Pepsi themselves or the marketing company behind it, they put a lot of time into this thing, and it is fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
The document includes comparisons to Da Vinci, the Fibonacci sequence, the golden proportion, and terms like the Pepsi DNA, the Pepsi ratio, Pepsi energy fields, Pepsi globe dynamics, and the Pepsi universe. Is Pepsi the real Illuminati, Elliot? I am not sure anymore. They seem to be behind some of the biggest cultural moments in a negative way that I've ever seen.
Did you know that depending on the angle that you look at a can of Pepsi, you can see every emotion in the human spectrum?
It's
of
in
emotion?
there. It's brand placement on a shelf, and the distance from the aisle, entering the aisle for the viewers, like the viewpoint, based on the curvature of the can and how the logo is displayed, was something that they paid attention to in this document.
Yeah.
They
It's wild.
also like took apart the Earth to show how its gravitational fields matched with the logo design over the years.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome to read.
Someday
I cannot suggest it enough.
We're gonna find a big Illuminati cave one of these days with the Pepsi logo on the wall.
Yeah.
The most powerful symbol in the universe.
And Michael Jackson's gonna be in there just tap dancing away, safe as ever.
Anyways, what was our original point
I have no
here?
idea.
Oh yeah, that ad with Kendall Jenner was fucking dumb. But they took it down and they said they were sorry. And as far as most YouTube commenters' general opinions are concerned, an apology is enough. Case closed. Forget
They
about it.
apologized
They
and they took it
apologized.
down.
Hey, guys,
They apologized and they took it down. It's fine.
You can do anything as long as you apologize.
and take it down.
You can't criticize someone who has already apologized.
They said they were sorry.
They apologized.
It's fine. Anyways,
We're sorry for
we're
this
also
video.
sorry for this video. Check out other videos over here. We have a gameplay right here that you can watch. We played Gang Beast, and it was very frustrating, but a lot of fun. And then check out yesterday's Tech Tuesday, Tech News Day, whatever it is. Watch it now. Subscribe to our channel. See you next time.